Yes! Yes, it's all finally coming together. How's it going, guys? It's me, the Double Taku, here today to talk about Rewrites episode 4. And of course, in the beginning, you saw my little skit thing that I did, the charts. Once again, the more we learn and the more episodes we learn about Rewrite and that air, I get even more confused. So, let's talk about what happened today. So, for one, interesting. Really interesting indeed, because for one, we already talked about it last episode where you saw my skit on how I have no clue where the series is going and they introduce a lot of things. This episode they introduce a lot more other things, especially my girl Shizuru and her backstory and her root basically, because for one, they start off the episode with her and I was like, oh man, this is so interesting. They're going so much into Shizuru, but the ending changes everything and it makes me sort of like so I do have an hypothesis for a little bit, I guess, in the end. And good morning, because I just woke up and I watched the episode. But yeah, so starts off with Shizuru's whole backstory thing on how her family back in the day was poor and she was a kid and whatnot. And then eventually it goes to some more of the real life stuff where they're trying to do some supernatural phenomenon. And then it just so happens that Kotaru is like trying to find Eska and the supernatural photos that he has, so they do that. On the way there, he meets Shizuru. Yes, Shizuru. So that doesn't really happen, if I recall, in the show, or maybe on the game. But like, yeah. So they meet Shizuru, and then they go on these like they're walking around. She gets bread, she gets a CD, and these are things that are all on Shizuru's route. But I don't know if it's super early or I'm just like they're doing this already. Like I don't know about me, but they're going through Shizuru's route or like parts in Shizuru's route. And then in the end, they do the thing where she lends him Kotaru lends her the MP3 player or the iPod, right? And, you know, this is so familiar and they're doing this so much. And then, you know, eventually it goes to, once again, Shizuru's route again, where Shizuru reveals her secret about her family and her powers to Kotaru. And then in the end, you know, they meet the family. They realize that, you know, like they don't remember her. Kotaru forgets Shizuru's name for once, but then he remembers it right away, actually. Interestingly enough, I don't think that happens in the game. I might not be correct, but yeah, that happens. And then, of course, Nishishogo sensei or Toka is talking to him. Like, oh, do you regret not knowing and all this stuff? It's like, you know, I was like, oh, Kotaru's like, you know, I might be thinking that I'm gonna want to know more about Shizuru. It's like, oh man, we're going to Shizuru. Like, this is serious. And if you guys, I didn't upload the Road to Rewrite yet, but if you guys watch the Road to Rewrite and you'll see my completion of Shizuru, that was some emotional shit there. I swear, that was probably the most emotional shit. And Shizuru is the most, I don't know, I think she's like my favorite girl in this series, or in Rewrite in general. But yeah, like if you watch the Road to Rewrite, look at my part for Shizuru, because that was emotional shit. So yeah, that happens, and then interestingly enough, there's no credits. But we get another scene that makes me want to confuse my own self and forget about all of the stuff. But we see the part where Lucia is hesitant to throw a ball back to these people who are playing ball at school, right? And of course, as a result of her wearing her gloves, she gets into an argument with Chihaya, who then is you know, basically Chihaya and Lucia get into a fight. And this, I know for a fact, this is Lucia's route because this is the first route I played. And they end it there. And of course, Kotaro goes over to try and comfort Lucia, but then she's like, you know, she's left in the cliffhanger, basically. So I'm assuming next episode, we're gonna have Kotaru learn more about Lucia, and then they're gonna have the whole Lucia route thing, which is, once again, super strange because I don't know what the frick is going on this series. So other things. Okay, so now we have all the Shizuru adorableness out of the way and her route out of the way. Let's talk about other things that I want to think about in this series. For one, Mito has been on Kotaro's mind this one episode this whole time. It's like, oh, this guy is dangerous. So I'm assuming Mito will be playing as like as the villain or like as an enemy in the series later on. But aside from that, we have the mixture of so many people's roots in this game, like Chihaya. You also have Sakuya in there, and like him telling him, "Oh, I hate you," or something like that. We're bound to be enemies, or something like that. Then you have Shizuru's root, and now we have Lucia's root, and now I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. So my hypothesis for that, and this is gonna be a really far-fetched one because I have no clue how the hell this is gonna work, but like they did in Little Busters. In Little Busters the animation, you guys did not watch that. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of it right now, but you know, in Little Busters the animation, they literally went through every single girl's roots in one go. Well, not in one go, technically, if you know what I mean, but you know, they did it in the whole anime, and then they did refrain. In this case here, I'm sort of seeing similarities to that, where they're sort of, well, he's not exactly doing Shizuru's root like in one time, but then he's doing part of it and then part of Lucia's, and in the beginning we also had part of Chihaya's, and then I don't know if in the end it's gonna accumulate to like something big as Moon or Terra or something like that, but that's the only way I could possibly see this, because if we all know the visual novel, he has to choose one, and he's always going to be on one side or the other. And with this one, like, he's really into Shizuru or Lucia and Lucia. Chihaya was over there in the beginning and whatnot, which kind of threw me off. But at this point now, there's so much devotion towards Shizuru and Lucia. It's making me sway my thinking. He's like, okay, he's clearly gonna be like somehow related to these two. Also, I want to note the fact of how Kagari went into the classroom just to go bite in Kotaro's arms, and everyone can't see the shit out of her except Kotori. We all know that, and that was just hilarious for one. So that never happens, but you know, I found that pretty funny. So yeah, that's about it for this episode, because you know, it was pretty straightforward, and I was surprised they're going straight into Shizuru's route in episode 4. And of course, most likely this is like, you know, I don't know how the hell I would have watched this without playing the visual novel. Like, I'm so glad I finished the visual novel, guys, because I would have been like, oh, we're going to this girl's route. I don't know anything about it, but I do know everything about it. So that is about it for this video and episode review of Reader episode 4. For one, I'm assuming next episode we're gonna see some Lucia and whatnot. Maybe, yeah, most likely Lucia, because after that cliffhanger, there's no way they could just ignore Lucia's thing, and they have to make what happens? So Kotori and not Kotori, Chihaya and Lucia got into a fight, so they have to make up, and then Lucia's route is gonna happen with Kotaru, and then who knows where it's gonna go over there. So anyways, guys, that's about it for my thinking. That's all I can think about right now, because there's so much that happened in this episode, but there's so little I know about what's gonna, like, what I think is gonna happen. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you like Shizuru, because Shizuru is freaking adorable. I don't know why, but in the game, her route was the most emotional, and Shizuru's just adorable. Anyways, and subscribe, because next week, episode 5 will come out, and we'll see if I was right about having Lucia's route next, considering the cliffhanger, but you know, it's most likely gonna happen. Or we'll see some more of Shizuru's route, who knows. I could dig both, you know. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video on the Domo Taku and channel. So take care, guys. Matane and Shizuru. Yes. Actually, you know, if we do Shizuru's route, I'm gonna cry like hell. Like, seriously, I'm gonna cry like hell. Check out that part in Rewrite, the Road to Rewrite. I swear, guys, that was pretty good.